Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Jump Change. This is live and recorded. For anybody that's new here, what we typically do is go over news in the crypto space or videos that I've missed previously the day before. And yeah, I watch with all you guys to simplify your lives. All right, let's see who is here in the chat, and then we'll go from there. Mr. Black Hat Team, what's up, buddy? Crypto KJ, good to see you. Andrew Masad, Ursa Mining, good morning, or good afternoon to some of you. Nick K, DJ Death Star, my man, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. We have Alvidus, Tim I Am Crypto, T Gig, good morning. Jason, let's see who else. Luke, my man Luke, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I got your text yesterday, by the way. Appreciate you. Let's see, we have Mr. Allset in the house. Steven Cicero, happy belated birthday, by the way. You and Joker Miner, weird as hell. Two of my mods both have the same birthday. Nobody knew until yesterday. Crazy. Anyways, guys, let's get into this. Let's see what this market's looking like today. Everybody I may have missed, I apologize. It's Monday. Give me a break. Bitcoin 43,260, not looking too bad. We have Ethereum 23.25. Are we going to see a $4,000 Ethereum sooner than later? Honestly, I think it's very possible. I don't know about you guys. I know a lot of you guys hate it, but listen, talk shit or make money. My man Luke says, let's make money. We have Solana looking like 97 bucks, just under $100. ETC just under 25 bucks. XRP at 50 cents. Dogecoin just under 8 cents. Everything's kind of floating along sideways, really. Nothing's really kind of changed since the last day or 2 days. Let's see. We have over here crypto bubbles on the week. We have FLR, which is Flare, up 43.3% on the last week at 3 cents. We have Link over here up 34.4%. Ranked in 10th spot. What? Hold on, we're gonna have to look at that in a minute. We have Pyth Network ranking 87 at 51 cents. Look at that. That's up 30.6% on the week. Manta is down 25.5% on the week. Renders up 8.5% on the week, $4.51. Pendle 34.6% up to $3.02 into the top 100 coins. Very, very interesting. Biggest earner on the day, let's see what it is. Looks like Link's the biggest earner in the day, getting into top 10. Chainlink, wow, that's impressive. We have Ronin here looking like it took a hit, 8.5% today. It is down to $2.91. Conflux, we have 20 cents in 90th position. Good morning, Mr. Blaine Anderson, good to see you. If it does hit $4,000, sell it. Someone in the chat, yes, I would definitely take profits at that point. We learned from the last time, or maybe we didn't. All right, let's get into actually Renders down 7.8% of the day. That's a oof, but it's still up on the week, like 8.5%, so can't really complain there. All right, Fear and Greed Index looking like we are 60. To me, this is still neutral. Again, over 75 is where I really care about, so take that as you will. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap. We're going to see Chainlink in 10th. I have no idea. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, XRP, USDC, Lido Staked, Ether, Cardano, and Avalanche still in 10th place. Looks like Chainlink is actually in 11th, according to CoinGecko by coin market cap. This CoinGecko kind of lags a bit, so who knows if this is actually, you know, if they're actually in 10th or not. But regardless, I mean, damn, Dogecoin's taking a freaking hit, getting pushed down the ranks, man. Pushed down the ranks for this poor old meme coin that's been around forever. I hope it starts to run again, but I don't know. It's not giving me high hopes. Dogecoin's in 12th place. Again, Chainlink's in 11th. Polkadot 14th. Is anybody into Polkadot or Polygon? I used to have Matic and I sold out of it. I probably should have kept it, but Polkadot I've never been into, and I feel like I should be. I don't know why. Let's see, Litecoin in 20th place. Looks like Shiba's in 19th. Those really haven't moved. Bitcoin Cash still in 22nd. Uniswap in 23rd. ETC is in 25th place. Let's see, Monero's in 30th. Scrolling down, just seeing where we are. Kaspa at 41st place. We have Arbitrum in 42nd. This Crow token, this is the crypto.com token, if I'm not mistaken, in 43rd. Nice. Render in just under 50th, 49th place. Havmatic and Demo for demo conversion. Gotcha, Carl Coat. Nice. Chainlink is in 10th on coin market cap. Okay, yeah. So again, CoinGecko is kind of a pain in the ass. Their charts are ass, and their lagginess is ass. Let me refresh this. Maybe it went in. Nope. It's just ass. is what it is. All right, let's get on to the mining segment of things. Then we're gonna jump into some news. We have, as you guys know, I like to timestamp these, come back a year later, see where these miners were sitting. We have the WinMiner K9 10.3 terahash unit making 702 Kaspa a day, profiting $63.03. We have the KS3 8 terahash unit from Ice River is $47.43. I don't know if you guys saw the Saturday Night Live. We had a very good conversation with Mr. Hawk Crypto and the Mining King, two of the owners of Terra Hosting, and they were explaining to us some issues they're having with the KS3s. And I don't know if it was KS3s and the 3Ms. I don't know. But anyways, the Ice River units in general, there's a lot of issues with these boards, and they're just dying. And the support is ass. So I don't know how much more, if you guys are really looking into buying these things, I don't know how much more the Bitmain ones are, but maybe it's a better idea to just purchase a Bitmain. Maybe the quality's better. I don't know. I think it got fixed with a new firmware, says Alvidus. Oh, that would be amazing. When did that come out? Is that new, like recently in the last couple days? That'd be amazing, Alvidus. I hope that fixed it, because I know people's units have been dying. KS3M looking like 6 terahashes, $33.17 per day. We have the Jasminer X16P, 5.8 gigahashes, mining this Canixum, whatever it is. Again, I'll say it wrong every single time because I don't know how to say it. $15.39 a day. I sent that over to my man, Mr. Max Voltage. He should be doing a review this week, and he was very upset that I taped a tea bag to it before I boxed it up. Oh, I had to do it to him. We have the Ice River KS2 2 terahash unit looking like 136 Kaspa a day, $10.90. I actually have the opportunity to possibly test the Super Scalar K10 Plus 38 gigahash unit. Looks like it's making the most on Ethereum, $8 a day. I don't know how you guys feel about this. What do you guys feel about these FPGAs? Is anybody into these two right here? I've never had an FPGA, never tested one, never used one, so it would be interesting to kind of mess with it, but I guess we'll have to see. Ice River KS1 looking like it's making $5.45 a day, 68 Kaspa per day. It's getting pretty bad. It's getting pretty bad. All right, the 9050 Antminer L7 looks like this is the unit I have down at Terra Hosting, $4.37 a day. Again, it's merge mining the Litecoin and Doge. I don't know why it doesn't have both here, because most of the earnings are actually in Doge with this thing, which is kind of weird. Let's see, where's the X16? Did I pass it? Did I pass it? Oh, it's right here. X16Q. 1950 mega hashes, $5.22 a day. You guys know I am solo mining Octaspace on that. It's actually been doing pretty good. Let's see, X4Q making $2.88 a day, 1 gigahash unit. Mine's getting about 1.2 or so. Nothing really else I want to go over besides the Ice River KS0 Pro 200 gigahash unit. These are the ones I got, $1.14 a day. Again, 100 watts. This is at after 10 cents kilowatt hour, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know this site. These units also, I have my man Crypto 440. I gave him my original one to rip apart and actually solder a 6-pin on it, a true 6-pin. And when he opened it up, the chips are actually delaminating inside because they're getting so hot, and the paste that they put on these things are just shit. So if you guys have these units, definitely recommend opening them up and putting some new paste on them. I'm gonna have to do some live streams this week and start ripping apart all my KS0s. You guys know I have 8 of them next to me, so I gotta get these I gotta get them situated at some point. But nonetheless, all right, let's move on to the GPUs, see what the biggest earner here is on GPUs. We have the 4090 with Ethereum and Hypera and Ethereum dual mining. 4080 Grin. What? Grin? Why is Grin on the top of the charts? That's weird. When's the last time we saw Grin on the top of the charts? That's pretty crazy, actually. Pyron on the top of the charts. I mean, that's kind of usually been there, but Grin, I'm not used to seeing this much Grin. That's interesting. That's real. What is the price at? Is it having like a jump? Let's just look. It's up 3.7%. Wow, it's higher than Doge. What is happening? What is happening? Oh, they have an infinite supply too. Oh, that's not concerning at all. Let's see. 1 year. Let's go. I guess the price 2 cents to where it's at now, almost 9. Why is this running? It's weird as hell. I know. You know what? This unit right here, Mr. Geek of All Trades pointed this out. Where is it? iPolo G1. This Grin miner makes $22 a day. $22 a day. I need to get one of these things. I don't really want the grain. I would just sell out of it. But 22 bucks a day? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, everything else just pretty normal stuff with this Xano coin, BTG. Has anybody mined Xano? Does anybody? Honestly, let me know. FPGAs are great, says Sasquatch Crap. Says, but the same as GPUs, the price has to be right. My FPGA rig has been profitable since last December. Started mining Kaspa, but that was a lucky ROI. Yes, you are correct, sir. It actually, Kaspa surprised a lot of us. Let's be real. All right, let's get into the news of the day, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We are going to go over this. Uncertainty around rate cuts is putting pressure on the markets, says Ben Emmons, I guess. Let's see what he has to say here. This isn't really crypto, but it's the market as a whole. Guys, that like button, appreciate y'all for hanging out. Let's do it.
We heard from Jay Powell again. He seemed pretty consistent with what he's been saying. He said March cut very unlikely, and then still we see the S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq close at new highs. What does that tell you about this market?
Yeah, the market was very geared on these rate cuts, right? So Powell's really confirming, like, you know, this is not going to happen so soon. It may happen sometime this year, and I think that is uncertainty for the markets, and that's why they're down.
Wait, so if it's uncertainty for the markets,
accent,
why are they finishing at highs?
Yeah, I think on Friday was really about the economy, right? Like if you get a strong jobs number, and it really gives you the sense of like the economy is absolutely not in a recession, that supported the stock market. But I think the uncertainty about the rate cut is maybe a little trepidation this morning on the market.
All right, so maybe some trepidation this morning, but you're saying when it comes to the economy, good news is now officially good news, something that we said in the beginning of the show. Okay, let me go to that jobs report. You're looking at the real compensation number. It came in at almost 2%. Why is the real compensation number important to you?
Yeah, so the Fed has done a good job bringing inflation so far down. So what people are experiencing is that their real incomes are going up. It's kind of like a tax cut. I think this is what's supporting the market and the economy together. Why are you seeing these strong job gains too? Because people want to get back into the labor force to make that real income. So I think it's a real good story in that sense. The Fed just has to keep going, I think, for some period with this high rate to get that inflation to 2%. That's what Powell's message was.
Okay, so you feel good about the economy. A very different story when it comes to the financials, specifically the regional banks. You're saying there's risk in your mind that just jumps off the page. Yeah. Jay Powell, he actually addressed that last night on 60 Minutes. I want to play this for you. I want to get your opinion on what he had to say.
What is the likelihood of another real estate-led banking crisis?
I don't think that's likely. We looked at the larger banks' balance sheets, and it appears to be a manageable problem. There's some smaller and regional banks that have concentrated exposures in these areas that are challenged, and we're working with them.
All right, Powell went on to say a few may have to close, a few have to merge, but again, he said he's working with them. Back to you. You say the risk is jumping off the page. In particular, you're looking at New York Community Bank. You're looking at the commercial real estate exposure when it comes to multifamilies, which is what was largely part of the issue that we saw last week, and also office. But when I look at New York Community Bank, they have twice the multifamily exposure of their peers, half the office. I thought it was the other way around. I thought office was the risk and multifamily was the safer bet.
Yeah, I think the issue with New York Community Bank is that they have these rent-controlled properties, and apparently that's where the loans are really falling in arrears. And suddenly the market got a sense of like, this is just not an office issue alone, it's also other properties. And this, I think, the tension in the market about we haven't gotten really out of this regional bank crisis just yet. And so whether it's these office properties or it's these rental control properties, it seems to be souring. And I think this is what Powell is looking at too, probably saying like, there will be banks that are having trouble.
So in your mind, it's just all commercial real estate. Before, I think a lot of people thought multifamilies were safe. This might be a bit of an outlier because it's rent control. It's not a lot of rent control in other parts of the country. But you're saying, in your mind, all of commercial real estate is a risk?
It could be, but I also want to emphasize, though, that you're talking about specific banks so far.
Right.
You know, last year we had Silicon Valley Bank with its treasuries on the portfolio, and that had the market attention. This year is really about the real economy, that, yeah, you get parts of commercial real estate that's in arrears, and that start to build, so it's a risk. Yeah.
I agree with Andrew Masad. He said it's always worse than they're telling us. Yeah, that's 100% true. All right, let's move on. Higher for longer rates will be a headwind for equities, says Rebecca Patterson. Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Looking at the action in the pre-market right now, we see the futures deeply in the red. That's after the markets closed at new record highs following that stronger than expected jobs report. Is this a reaction to Jay Powell in your mind?
Possibly. Hard to read into what one morning's futures say, but Chairman Powell last night on television in his interview with 60 Minutes certainly reiterated the higher for longer stance of the Fed, that March is very unlikely. And you're now seeing that in Fed funds futures. The market after the payrolls data, after the FOMC, and then Powell, all those three things have pushed probability of a first cut much more to June now, whereas even a week ago, there were still pretty decent odds they could get something as early as March. So, higher for longer certainly is going to be a headwind for equities. But then the other side of it is what's spending. If the consumer holds up, and that's what the payrolls suggest, that's an offset, at least to a degree.
All right, so with all that in mind, and again, we're coming off that Jay Powell commentary on 60 Minutes, what's your WEX word of the day?
So my word today is connections. And I say that because I think it's especially important right now for investors to be making those connections between the catalysts, the market players, the economies, the markets, whether we're talking higher for longer policy, Middle East conflict, China's challenges, both market and economic. You have to connect the dots right now. And I think that's what leads me to being still cautious on smaller and regional banks in the United States. Higher for longer regulations, that exposure to office commercial real estate, all of those things I think are going to make a rebound for that sector less likely short term. Remember, we have $117 billion in office commercial real estate this year that either has to be retired or refinanced.
All right, so you're mentioning some of the regional banks. Jay Powell did address that yesterday, saying that he's, quote unquote, working with those regional banks. He said some may have to close, some may have to merge. I also want to continue to look at earnings. We saw very strong results from mega cap tech. Going forward, do you think that what we're seeing from earnings from mega cap tech, does that continue to justify those valuations? I know you're not as granular as saying put money here day to day, but just longer term, do you continue to be bullish on mega cap tech?
I am bullish longer term on mega cap tech because I think they have a number of comparative advantages in a world where technology is going to play a larger and larger role in our day-to-day lives across industries. So yeah, do you want to buy a bunch here? Probably not. But when you get those pullbacks, like we've seen a little bit on some of the earnings, those are opportunities if you don't have the exposure you want to build it over time. I think these are stocks that are going to help the dollar higher over the coming decade, and U.S. equities, I think, potentially outperform rest of world peers over the next decade. That's a really long-term view, but that's the power of technology in the current environment.
Shout out to CNBC for that. All right, for anybody that may have missed this, we're going to watch this. So I showed this on Saturday morning, but again, it's good to soak in the information. How spot Bitcoin ETFs issuers are trying to win in a crowded field. Now, this is going to also apply for Ethereum ETFs when those come to fruition, right? As soon as the I don't know, it's going to be a race to the top. That's pretty much it. As soon as they're approved. So let's get back into this, guys. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. I hate asking, but YouTube makes me.
Check out this list of all the spot Bitcoin ETFs available on public markets. Seems like a lot, right? The SEC's decision to allow spot Bitcoin ETFs back on January 10th created a very crowded market for these products nearly overnight.
This is really the culmination of 10 years of work. Investor support, the Grayscale team, everybody's been working tirelessly towards this outcome.
This is probably the most important moment in Bitcoin's history, or at least in the last 10 years. It's a huge unlock for access to the space. We think it's an incredibly important moment.
11 ETFs or ETPs coming to market on one day is actually historic for the ETF industry. You haven't seen this kind of level of competition on an exposure day one ever.
Now the ETF providers are looking ahead to figure out how to drive investment in their product over their competitors. One way to do that? By lowering fees. Most of the approved ETFs have fees of between 0.19% and 0.3%, but Grayscale stands out at 1.5%. Speaking with CNBC from the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos, Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein defended the higher fee, pointing to his firm being the largest Bitcoin fund, having a 10-year track record of operating successfully, and having a diversified investor base. Sonnenschein also said he thinks most of the approved Bitcoin ETFs won't survive, and he isn't the only asset manager that feels that way.
I do think a few won't make it, but what I do expect to happen is that Financial advisors and other institutions will probably move towards the other managers that they have contracts with and sales agreements with. So that's going to be one of the factors. Typically, the way that advisors and money allocators work is they like to choose 2 or 3 different managers that run the similar style ETF or the same ETF. So usually one bucket is, the big manager that everybody knows, which is, like the BlackRocks and the Fidelities of the world. And then the other bucket is usually the niche experts in the space.
We do believe there will be consolidation, but it's going to take time. I feel that almost every one of our peers in this space will give it at least a year. It was a great idea. They saw the opportunity. It made sense, right? This is what every client has been asking for. And so they thought it will be fine. And I know a lot of them have had operational challenges. We haven't, but I think that they're giving it a try. And, I respect that, but I do believe we'll have a much smaller universe of competitors this time next year.
So which are most likely to succeed? Well, Sylvia Jablonski of Defiance ETF says it could depend on a couple of things. 1, having an existing client base like Grayscale could help, as many investors wouldn't want to sell their holdings and take a tax hit. 2, it could simply be a matter of scale and budget. Take BlackRock. The investment giant's ETF just hit $2 billion in assets under management. Jablonski says as long as the ETF provider can break even, they will continue to exist. Another big factor for the year will be the price of Bitcoin directly. Following the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US, the price of Bitcoin shot up above $49,000 and then quickly came back down, trading as low as the $38,000 level in recent days. And the ETFs have followed suit. Since launching, all the ETFs are down between 5 and 8.5% as of February 1st, along with a broad sell-off in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
I think what happened was a lot of people got excited and tried to front run the ETFs launching. So that drove the price of Bitcoin up a little bit higher than it should have been. So when the ETFs launched, the price of Bitcoin definitely came down following that first day. In addition to that, we're still not seeing the full effects of a Bitcoin ETF just yet. Financial advisors are still looking at this asset class, still looking at the ETFs themselves and trying to decide when's a good opportune time to put their clients in.
And that's a great point right there. They really are. Financial advisors still haven't really got into that, jumping in that basket, as metaphorically speaking. It's one of those things where as soon as everybody actually comes around and starts adopting it, this thing's gonna explode.
I do believe that will be coming in the next 3 to 6 months.
We're very excited that Bitcoin now is in the ETF wrapper and therefore very accessible at very low prices. What we do have, and there was speculation beforehand, will this be a sell on the news? We said yes, and then we were hearing that so much that we thought, well, maybe not. Well, it turns out that FTX is, I guess it's nearly $1 billion in GBTC, has been sold as the Bitcoin ETF has come out. And I think that's been part of the pressure. I do think there's sell on the news because I think some people expected it to hold a little more than it has. But this has not disturbed our point of view at all. We think this is one of the most important investments of our lifetime. We're very happy to be a part of this movement, providing more access to Bitcoin.
These ETFs are also competing to convince people that they're a better investment over just buying Bitcoin itself.
For me, I think the biggest negative implication is that the core promise for me of crypto, of Bitcoin, is this idea of self-custodial products where you have ownership of your own money. That is the whole dream of the technology, is people being in control of their own money. And these ETFs, while they are great, they are the creation of a financial instrument where someone else owns your money and you have access to it in the form of, this publicly traded share on this stock exchange.
Another potential drawback? These ETFs are limited to stock market hours, while crypto can be traded 24/7.
And that's something that a lot of people are missing, right? When the stock market or the market in general moves on these ETFs 20%, they're shutting it off for the day and you're screwed.
I think also, as we start to think about Bitcoin, if we do see, huge amounts of investment into these ETFs, there's obviously a scarcity of the underlying asset as well. So that's something we don't need to worry about today, but something to consider on the forward. For me, I think the positive aspect is the breadth of the market that it can focus on.
So what's next in 2024? Now that spot Bitcoin ETFs are trading, all eyes are on whether the SEC will greenlight an Ether ETF. The agency is due to give decisions on those applications beginning in May.
It's inevitable.
BlackRock, Invesco, ARK, and Van Eck are among the firms in line for approval, as well as Grayscale, which is seeking to convert its existing Ethereum trust into an ETF. Now, just because Bitcoin ETFs won approval in January, that doesn't guarantee Ether ETFs will too.
I look at what we did this week as it's cabin to one non-security commodity called Bitcoin. Like we've had gold, spot, exchange-traded products, and silver exchange-traded products in the past and approved in the past, this is cabin just to that one non-security commodity token.
He's always so careful when he talks because he always gets dunked on. But to be honest, I think this Ethereum ETF, like I think it's inevitable. But my biggest fear with Ethereum, right? If you guys go, you guys know, right? Get into Ethereum. A lot of you guys know, anyways. There is a untapped supply. Maximum supply is infinity. They can print as much as they want, right? So that is my biggest fear with the government getting into or just having these ETFs, right? If they wanted to take over Vitalik and his means of crypto, I mean, could they just make him print more? I don't know. It's one of those things that I always think about, but whatever, each his own, do what you will. All right, let's get into this. We have the videos of the day. I haven't watched these yet, so let's see what Mr. Austin over at Altcoin Daily says. Ethereum price is still ready to explode. Wow, if I could speak today. Ready to explode. $4,000 in 3 to 6 months. Let's see what he's got to say. Guys, appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Ethereum's price is ready to explode for 3 big reasons. Do not miss out on the generational wealth that comes with this Ethereum trade that I'm about to tell you about. Like this video, send this video to one friend. Ethereum is still ready to rally to a price of $3.5 to $4,000 in the coming just 3 to 6 months.
Please take it with a grain of salt. Nobody knows where things are going.
3 reasons. Reason number 1, Ethereum's last big upgrade goes live Q1 of this year. The Ethereum Deacon upgrade focuses on mitigating transaction costs while boosting the effectiveness of Layer 2 solutions. This advancement promises a more refined user experience, marking substantial progress towards a larger scale and more accessible blockchain network. The final testnet takes place February 7th. Full rollout on mainnet, it's like a month away. They originally planned this for end of 2023. True to Ethereum form, it was delayed.
Oh my God. What is that? Is that a filter? That is creepy as hell.
But basically, my friends, we are like a month or so away from this future that Vitalik Buterin describes here being a reality. Listen.
When can we call Ethereum done if we really have to call it done? End of 2023. 2023 is going to be the year when rollups really come to maturity. We have 4844 that gives rollups more space, and we have the trading wheels on rollups that really get weakened a lot. That kind of gets us to like most of sharding being finished, and then rollups going fully trustless, and then there's full dank sharding. For me personally, I think after the changes, that would be the first points where I would feel comfortable saying, even if nothing else happens past that point, I would be happy with Ethereum.
So understand that this upgrade, Ethereum's last big upgrade, makes Ethereum and Ethereum L2s so much better. And then after that comes the onboarding of 500 million users.
If we need to, we can stop there. We're not going to stop there, right? And we want to kind of like go ahead and try to actually make sure that the Ethereum ecosystem can support 500 million users before the bull where 500 million users are knocking on the door actually ends up happening. That's probably the next part of the future, the transition from Ethereum as this kind of very theoretical ecosystem that's still discovering and finding itself to Ethereum as an ecosystem that actually is, tries to be useful and usable and, secure and all of those things, and like actually provide value for hundreds of millions of people.
Number 2.
The thing that really sketches me out about him too is the burn wallets. He admitted that he has the seed phrase to the burn wallets, so you're not really burning the token, you're just giving it to Vitalik. I don't understand that.
Ethereum spot ETF hype. So the final deadline for Ethereum spot ETFs is this year, actually 112 days. I do want to be clear here. The catalyst we're talking about is the anticipation of the Ethereum spot ETF. I fully expect, anybody smart fully expects the Ethereum ETFs in America to be approved at some point. They're already approved across the globe. The SEC cannot not approve them because there's already Ethereum futures, the same reason the Bitcoin spot ETF got approved.
You know, that's a good point, actually. There's already an Ethereum futures, so
the Ethereum spot ETF will be a huge catalyst for the price of ETH in the long term. But again, the catalyst for this year is the Ethereum spot ETF hype. So what are the odds the Ethereum ETF gets approved and when? Bloomberg Intelligence, James Seyfarth, this was the gentleman keeping us up to date on everything Bitcoin ETF. He was right about the Bitcoin ETF. Will he be right about the Ethereum ETF? This is a clip from the Wolf of All Street, Scott Melker's podcast. Listen.
I view the SEC kind of veering and pivoting away from fighting Ethereum and Bitcoin on this front, and they're going to go basically wage war on the rest of crypto. So I think the path of least resistance here is just to approve these things. The dates to watch are Van Eck is May 23rd. That's their final deadline. That's the equivalent of ARK 21 shares January 10th, which is the first final deadline. That said, I am nowhere near as confident as we were with the Bitcoin ETFs. I'm probably around 60%. The CME Ethereum market is way smaller, way less volume. There's way less open interest. So the SEC could kind of draw distinctions there. They could try to draw distinctions with the proof of stake versus proof of work. There's a lot of avenues they can go to.
Can I just say, what's up with this music? This music is awful. I'm like trying to listen to this guy talk, and this music's loud as shit.
Kind of kick this can down the road further. We'll know more in the coming months.
So the spot ETFs could get approved in May. This is what Standard Chartered Bank thinks. It could get delayed a little bit. Either way, this hype, just like Bitcoin rallied throughout all of 2023 and going into the beginning of 2024 because of the spot ETF hype for Bitcoin, the same will happen to Ethereum. It hasn't happened yet. This will take Ethereum to $4,000.
What do you guys think? Do you think the hype is going to push this thing ahead? What do you think?
Daily videos. Number 3, Bitcoin rotation after halving towards the rest of the ecosystem. Let's think about this. Understand, after Bitcoin's halving happens, it's possible it rallies into the halving and we see a little bit of a sell the news event, just like what happened with the BlackRock spot ETFs. Typically, it takes about 9 to 11 months after Bitcoin's halving until the effects of the halving go into effect.
You guys imagine 68 days. It's crazy how fast it's coming up.
Usually takes about 9 to 11 months before we see that huge rally, 9 to 11 months after the halving. So immediately after this halving happens, there might be a little cool down in Bitcoin and rotation to things like Ethereum. Because think about it, after this happens, the halving narrative over, the BlackRock ETF narrative over, not that the residuals of this won't be in full effect for the rest of these assets' lifetime, but after this halving happens, I fully expect Ethereum to take more of center stage in the limelight. The Bitcoin rotation into Ethereum after the halving is real. Think about it, guys. Visa enables crypto withdrawals on debit cards in 145 countries. MetaMask users can now sell crypto directly to a Visa card, which eliminates the need to use centralized exchanges.
Wow, that's actually kind of a big deal.
Which crypto is Visa working with?
Countries.
What blockchain rails is Visa's crypto foray on? And then there's all these little mini narratives, like Ethereum self-staking is the key to atomic generational wealth, according to this one Ethereum dev. Staking Ethereum from home should be the gold standard for staking, and families should see it as a tool to create atomic generational wealth, notes an Ethereum community developer.
I'm going to disagree with that. I don't know if it's very smart to stake anything at home, especially 32 ETH, which is like an ungodly amount of money. Does anybody have $70,000+? I'm pretty sure it's what it's at. So you have to have a minimum of 32. And then if your internet goes down, you get slashed and you lose some of that Ethereum. And then now what? Now what? Yeah, that's I don't know. Be cool if it was like less than like if you could stake like 1 instead of having to stake 32. That'd be a different story, right?
Quote, setting up a home validator could mean that your family operates that validator and secures the network for longer than 100 years. I mean, is it possible that if you run one Ethereum validator, you have generational wealth? You know, if Ethereum holders are right, this is a real possibility. And take a look at this. Ethereum staking Q is starting to go up again. Ethereum staking Q is starting to go up again. People are locked.
Yeah, Curtis in the chat says if you have 70K just sitting around, already have wealth. Yeah, exactly. It's like let me take this $70,000 worth of Ethereum and just put it on this little Raspberry Pi and run a node. Like, no. No. That's a lot of loot, man. No.
Up their Ethereum to secure the network and earn a yield. A gigantic Ethereum bull run is about to start. Look.
Real quick, Mr. Leo Lustig in the chat. Appreciate you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you very much. Keeping the stream alive. He says busy with appointments today. Sorry, but wanted to stop in and wish the awesome myself and my wife, CCXD and PCXD, and you all beautiful D-Gens a happy Monday. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much.
Look. A gigantic Ethereum bull run is about to start. How can I be so confident? How can I be so confident that a massive bull run is on the horizon? You don't appreciate still how early we are. You just assume that everybody knows about Bitcoin and Ethereum already. That's hardly the case. Listen to this candid conversation on the streets of Columbus, Ohio. Can you believe this conversation?
Do you know where I can find any crypto, where I can score some cryptocurrency around?
What's crypto? Please say it.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, shit.
What crypto is?
Of course, he's just it.
Bitcoin and all that shit, right?
Of what?
Bitcoin. You seem like a man of means, sir, and you've never heard of cryptocurrency?
This dude looked like he stood behind a dirt bike and they just like let it rip in the dirt and it just flung up all on him. That's what it looks like. You know what's crazy though? Honestly, not trying to shame this guy, I was just fucking around, but the fact that there is still so many people on this planet that don't understand or even know what crypto is, like this guy, right? It's wild. And once everybody starts to adopt, I mean, there's only going up from here, right?
You're well off, aren't you? You're not homeless, are you?
No.
Yeah. But you've never heard of digital currency?
I wasn't that mean.
Sir.
That's fucked
Excuse
up.
me, have you ever heard of Bitcoin?
I haven't, sir. I sure have.
Cryptocurrency?
I sure haven't, he says. What the hell?
Where am I? Where have you been?
Here.
Under a huge fucking rock, apparently, pal.
Jesus
If you
Christ.
appreciate us keeping...
That was actually kind of funny. All right, shout out to Altcoin Daily for that. Let's get into the next one. Big things are happening in cryptocurrency in February 2024. Bitcoin and Chainlink news. Let's see. I wonder if this is why Chainlink's pumping today, because if you guys haven't seen, let's check it out. On CoinMarketCap, it's already, I guess, in 10th place. But as of right now, on CoinGecko, it says it's in 11th. Weird. That's really weird for it to be that off. That's $1.5 billion off from CoinMarketCap. I'm going to have to look after this. All right, let's see.
Now, crypto has been consolidating in these last few weeks, but February, if history rhymes, is about to be big.
Now, February is a historically strong month for both Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin has finished 9 of the last 11 Februaries in the green, and ETH, which hasn't been around for as long, has finished higher in 6 of the last 7.
So February has a median gain for Bitcoin of around 12.2%. In fact, only in 2014 and COVID 2020 did we see a down month in February, not to mention Ethereum.
Ether and altcoins are poised to take the limelight in the next few weeks. ETH had a very active January. You saw those outsized rallies after the Bitcoin ETF approval, but it really didn't get much attention. Standard Chartered predicts it could rise 70% from current levels if it has the same pre-ETF uptrend that Bitcoin did.
Watch today's whole video because we'll look at the calendar on every major event for crypto that you should know happening in February.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know there was a whole calendar like that. But real quick again, Mr. Leo Lustig, appreciate you. Let's get back
Crypto
into
lender
this.
Genesis has settled an SEC lawsuit over its part in the Gemini Earn lending program.
So
Oh, that's what I was gonna read. Alvida said people say Bitcoin is a scam, and a lot of people still say that, dude. But it was just shocking to see that guy had no idea what it even was. Still,
major settlement has been reached with Genesis, which is one of the biggest companies, lending and borrowing companies in crypto, and the SEC.
Agreeing to a $21 million fine that will be paid only if Genesis is able to fully repay customers in its bankruptcy.
They're paying the SEC $21 million, which they slap on the wrist. And with FTX selling assets in their bankruptcy.
Imagine $21 million just a slap on the wrist.
And Genesis selling assets, crypto assets, through their bankruptcy. This is a beginning to an end of the sell pressure. Now, Binance has also frozen some selling pressure.
Binance froze more than $4 million worth of Ripple's XRP tokens
from the hack on a Ripple co-founder's wallet.
That's according to this X post yesterday from the crypto exchange's CEO, Richard Tang.
Oh, yeah, because he got friggin', what was it? I don't know if it was SIM swapped or just hacked or something. Anyways, Mr. Rob Bynes, real quick, appreciate you being a member for 3 months. Thanks, buddy.
He noted that the exploit was flagged to exchanges. Tang went on to write that Binance will continue to support Ripple in their investigations and their efforts to retrieve back the funds, including closely monitoring the majority of funds still in the exploiters' external wallets in case they deposit to Binance. We told you on Wednesday that the tokens were stolen from a wallet belonging to Ripple's executive chairman, Chris Larsen, who said that there had been a breach to his personal XRP accounts, but not of Ripple itself.
Now looking at the calendar for some altcoin news. Of course, huge piece of February. Killer Whales Episode 1 premieres this Thursday, February 8th, and Emotions.
Is anybody excited for the show? Anybody? I'm going to be honest, I'm not. But I guess this is on the Hello network, and it's part of the Hello token or whatever, so might see a pump or appreciation there. Who knows? I don't know if I haven't seen this at all. Is he show this the whole time? God damn it. You guys want to watch this? All right, whatever.
Fly.
Just watch it.
Why should the 5 of us believe that this business is going to be successful?
I give them credit, though. The ceiling looks dope.
Killer Whales is a younger version of Shark Tank.
I'm going to be able to tell you right away
I love the ceiling.
if this
So
is
cool.
good or not.
Mixed with America's Got Talent.
I'm going to swim with that. Thank you.
With a little bit of UFC.
And I also would be willing to pay you to headbutt Mario when this is over.
Now, obviously, I'm a producer on this and one of the judges on this, so I'm biased. But let me just share with you 60 more seconds of me, my brother, the creator, giving you some behind the scenes, and then you tell me what you think down below.
So I've been a producer and director in the TV industry now for something like 15 years. I've worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, worked on some of the biggest shows, and what I couldn't believe was that there wasn't a crypto TV show that kind of focused on all of the things that we see online every day, good or bad, and brought it all together into must-see television.
Every founder that talks like them has been successful, so I don't, you know.
That's it.
Yep.
What can you expect from Killer
That ceiling is cool as hell.
Something really interesting about our whale panel is there are experts from all walks of life. Politicians, crypto native people, finance people, NFT people. So many different types of judges are on our show.
With the hat.
There's something for everybody.
I've just had that penny drop moment. They're actually not selling.
And Rand looks like he didn't comb his hair today.
They're just selling experiences. They are the next Disney.
But I do just want to say that the focus of the show is entertainment first, education maybe second, but there are no investments made.
Entertainment first, education second. Should be the other way around, to be honest.
I think what's really important to note is that the show is not about investing. No money changes hands. The whales do not invest in the projects. Instead, it's about shining a light on some of the projects that potentially have been overlooked by the industry and giving them a chance in the spotlight, and have the killer whales ask them the hard-hitting questions.
Why should I think
Wait, what? So there's no money invested? There's nobody... What? And how can you compare it to Shark Tank? What? I am so confused.
This is going to succeed?
I think you're too nice in a cutthroat industry.
I do agree with Mario just a little bit. You need to be more aggressive.
What I want people to take away is that crypto isn't just about the technology, it's about the people.
What's your passion? So this premieres on Hello TV's streaming service starting this week, but then full mainstream release in March next month. Now, next piece of news, as written up on Cointelegraph, also a project I'm invested in, Omni-chain operating system root protocol ready for token launch. This is meant to unify all the different chains and dApps in crypto.
You know what? NOOBS just made a good point. He said they're all getting free coins to dump on their audience. That's kind of fucked up. That's probably true.
And I love this little explanation I saw on DataDash.
Root protocol, which aims to serve as the core portal or operating system to manage all of your Web3 related activities, no matter the account or chain or network or the type of decentralized application you're
I thought this guy was in a bathroom stall listening to him.
Trying to use. A central place where you can manage all your assets and activities across various networks in this multi-chain world that crypto has become.
So as written up, Root Protocol is not just another Web3 project. After developing a digital ID system that accommodates more than 400,000 verified accounts, more than 1 million social connections, and more than 100,000 members in online communities, the operating system acts as your gateway to everything Web3.
One of the biggest things they're introducing is ISMI, which is essentially a digital ID name that can be related to all your different accounts. So you can easily send funds to friends or family, or be able on-chain to be identifiable by a particular ID. This allows you to essentially have an umbrella account or label for all of your different wallets and all your different activity.
So they have all
Nerd Beast said poor BitBoy spends 25K for his show and this guy's streaming in his bathroom.
already successfully integrated with Layer 0 and Celestia to achieve full omni-chain interoperability. And again, the goal is to unite. They want to aggregate your digital identity, virtual accounts, social graphs, and crypto demands into one protocol. And this is built with the developer in mind.
And they also have their own built SDK that allows people to be able to integrate seamlessly with the Omni protocol or the root Omni protocol, which allows you to essentially be able to interact with its full technical capabilities.
So always cool to see the building happening in this space. And speaking of that, this is epic. You're not bullish enough on Chainlink. And this is simply...
How many of you guys own Chainlink? Let me know in the chat. Just put a 1 if you do, 2 if you don't.
A tweet from Chainlink saying assets evolved. So this is essentially just showing that everything will be tokenized.
Like, I don't know why. I always feel like I missed the boat with Chainlink. I don't know why. I just never want to invest in it. It's not one of those things that I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I just feel indifferent about it, I guess.
Digital identity, ownership, everything will be tokenized. And the Chainlink network can be that connector between real world information to get it in a decentralized way on the blockchain. Other interesting...
Looks like it's about half-half in the chat. Half you do, half you don't. Interesting.
Things that are coming up. Obviously, the Bitcoin halving in April. We know this. Polygon is having their eTrog upgrade on February 6th. That's Polygon's upgrade that initiates on their ZK EVM, enabling code deployment akin to Ethereum, so makes it easier to build and integrate and talk to the Ethereum ecosystem.
That's kind of neat, actually. That might be a big deal.
Star on Polkadot is having dApp staking v3. Solana, Avalanche, and Tezos are having their blockchain developer gathering in Berlin. A Stellar Lumens upgrade on February 20th. As some of these more important upgrades come up, I will keep tabs on this. I will keep you updated. It's a swim.
Interesting. All right, shout out to Altcoin Daily for that. All right, let's recap some stuff and let's check out some prices over here. All right, what do we got? Bitcoin 43,459. Still, anybody's just joining. Looking like Ethereum 2332. All right, let's see. What do we have any questions in the chat? Please feel free to ask at this time. Let's see. What is there a halving list? There is, right? Let's see. Let's see if there's a halving list. Halvingdates.com. So I was reading my comments from yesterday's video with the Hivemapper, and somebody said the Hivemapper has a halving. Is that true or is that false? Does anybody know? Where would I find that? Does anybody know? Where would I find that information? Let's see. Mr. Dan R, dude, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He said, why would you stake ETH at a lower percent when you can stake Solana at at 3 times the percent rate? He said times twice, threw me off. And it is, sorry, and is it Smokey in here or is it just Randy Hipper? Smash that like button. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. And Miss Randy Hipper, Hadouken to you. Appreciate you for being here. We're going to raid you in a few minutes, but these are the halving dates. So Bitcoin's coming up quick. You guys know Litecoin in June. There's another halving. I didn't know that. Interesting. I feel like they just went through one. Is Bitcoin, I mean, is Litecoin sooner than, is it ever? It's not every 4 years, is it? Maybe it is. I don't know why. 222 days. I feel like we just went through one, but apparently we've been stuck in this bear market forever and I don't remember anything anymore. What is this? Bitcoin Cash? I assume that's that one. Zcash, Bitcoin Gold, Ravencoin. What in the hell? Ravencoin? 400 days away, or 460 days away, over a year. Not too bad. All right, let's see. You guys know about that what is it? Honey halving? How do I look that up? Let's see. Oh, what did not mean to click on my Twitch. That was weird. All right, Honey crypto halving. Let's see. Do they have a halving? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Looks like Dynex unMineable is down. No rewards for 10 hours. Oh, you know what, Black Hat? Ooh, actually, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Sometimes they do slack though on payouts, if that's your like referring to, I guess. Is it going to your wallet, or you're talking about on the dashboard itself on unMineable? And I emailed those guys. I want to see if we can get Neoxa on there. I really need Neoxa to be on there. Actually, Crypto KJ brought up a good point yesterday, and I totally didn't think to ask them, but I'm going to bother them. Look at mining pool events tab. Way more halvings. Mining pool. Oh, mining pool stats. This one, mining pool stats.stream. Events calendar. Ooh. You know what? I don't think I've ever really clicked on this. Holy hell, there is a lot of shit here. Dude, shout out to you. Thank you, Mr. Ted. You're awesome. Octaspace. Wait, what? They're having a halving? Oh, it's a good thing I've been solo mining it. What? That's kind of neat. For 4 days. The halving's in 4 days. Shit. I'm glad I've been mining that. What is this? 12 hours. What is this Ethereum Classic Spiral hard fork? What is that? Past events? 12 hours ago. What happened there? Does anybody know about this? Please tell me. It'd be great, because I have no idea. Is it going to say anything if I click on it? Probably not. Nope. Is there any information on that? What is that? What does that mean? I'm gonna have to look into that now. What is a spiral hard fork? What does that mean? ETC had an upgrade. Upgrade to what? ETC hard fork did a lot. What did it do? Come on, stop teasing me. What did it do? Spiral hard fork. All right. ETC spiral hard fork. Spiral network upgrade block announcement. Call to update nodes. In a recent community call on Discord, developers from the Ethereum Classic Cooperative announced the activation block for Ethereum Classic upcoming Spiral hard fork. Miners, exchanges, and all nodes operators are encouraged to keep their software updated to the latest version. Okay, I wonder what it does. What does it do? Similar to the previous upgrades on the Ethereum Classic, the Spiral hard fork is a compatibility update that includes technical changes. Man, I need to zoom this in. Technical changes to a number of opcodes relevant to the network. The Spiral upgrade will bring the ETC network to parity with upstream EVM standards, facilitating contract development and migration. Huh. Interesting. I didn't even know they went through this Spiral hard fork 12 hours ago. That's really neat. I actually like this. I've never looked at this event list on miningpoolstats.stream, so shout out to them for having this. That's pretty cool. Interesting. 112 days. Ethereum Classic is going through another fifth inning, by the way. It's not a halving, it's a fifth inning. They need to change this, because that's not correct. It is a fifth inning. Halving on Radiance coming up. Ooh, block rewards reduced from 50,000 to 25,000. If block rewards 50,000, how hard is it to hit a block on Radiant? I want to solo mine that now, kinda. Maybe. Is it a bad? Does anybody know? How hard is it? How hard is it to solo mine Radiant? The fifth inning. Yes, the fifth inning. No, we've always had a fifth inning. Everyone just calls it a halving. A halving, rather. And look, you can see 2.56. Let me zoom in on this. 2.56 to 2.048. That is clearly not in half. Just saying. CCXD, the halving for LTC was 187 days ago. Okay, thank you, Fully Electric. I knew I wasn't smoking crack. I'm like, didn't they just have something? Or am I lost? Am I lost? Oh, you know what? I was probably looking at this past one, wasn't I? I was. That's why. I was looking in the past events. That was my bad. That was my bad. 187 days ago. You're right. You're right. Thank you, Fully Electric, pointing that out. I didn't realize it was past events when I was looking at it the first time, but I didn't realize that Octaspace was actually being halved in 4 days as well. So that's kind of a big deal. Is that actually even in half? Yeah, it is. It is. It's in half. Interesting. All right. RXD is pretty difficult to solo right now. How come? Is it just like, is there any real reason? I don't know. Let me know. I'm interested. All right. Anyways, guys, I gotta get back to daddy duty. Wife's gonna get to work. We have a lot of stuff to do today. Please hit that like button on the way out. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me today on the Daily Grind. I will catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna raid Miss Randy Hipper. She doesn't start for about a half hour, but go over there, hit that like button, show her some support. We'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace out.
You guys don't get to 100 likes. I'm going to show you my cleavage.